Hey, this is Andy, and this is our second video in our How to Hire a Contractor series. In the first video, we discussed what you need to do before you hire a contractor. In this video, we're going to talk about what you need to do when you're interviewing a contractor, what kind of questions you should be asking, and what you should be looking out for during your discussions with a contractor. So when you interview a contractor, you're going to discuss your ideas, your very well thought out ideas you came up with as a result of our first video together. You want to pay very close attention to how the contractor is listening to you. Is he taking notes? Does he seem interested in understanding what you really want and need? How is his communication style? Is he respectful? Is he dismissive? Is he paying attention, or is he distracted with other phone calls and texts? Be on the lookout for some nonverbal clues. Is he clean and neat and professional, or does it look like he just spent 12 hours at a job site? Take a look at his vehicle he pulls up in. Does it portray a professional appearance, or does it look like it'll fall apart at any minute? So, what questions should you be asking a contractor in your interviews? Most importantly, you need to know that the contractor is obviously licensed and insured. Ask to see a copy of their license and proof of their insurance. You want them to have liability insurance as well as workers' compensation insurance. Or that they could demonstrate they qualify for an exemption. Not everyone has to have workers' compensation insurance based on the size of their business. So, there are legally ways to work in this field without having it. But it's called an exemption, and you should ask to be provided with a copy of it if they say they don't have workers' comp insurance. You obviously want to make sure that all work that needs a permit gets a permit. It'll be a little more expensive, and it may take a little more time for your job to start and finish, but don't hire a contractor who wants to do work that needs a permit without getting a permit. Lots of contractors will, I don't say they want to encourage you not to get a permit, but they don't like the permitting process. It slows them down too sometimes, but that's a real red flag right there. So, when you're having these discussions, make sure that they intend, and ask them if they intend to pull permits for the things that require it. Obviously, you want to ask them how long the work will take. You want them to commit to a timeline, and you want to know whether they're going to have workers there every day until the job is done. Some may not, and that might be okay, but you'd want to know that before, in advance, so that you'll not be disappointed or caught by surprise if, you have days where, multiple days a week where there's no workers at your job site. You just want to know what to expect. Ask them what they're going to do to protect your house and make sure that the floors won't get damaged. Most people are, living through the renovations as they're happening. You're still living in a house. You want to know that they're not going to be, they're going to leave the place clean every day, that they're going to not leave, sharp tools around where your kids or your pets, might get hurt. You want to be able to try to live through the renovation as easily as possible. So, find out how they're going to handle cleanup at the end of every day. And, again, it's a lot of wear and tear on your floors when you have a lot of people and appliances and cabinets and all that coming in and out of your house. So you want to ask them what they're going to do to protect your walls, your floors, and things like that from damage, accidental damage as they do work. Find out who's going to be supervising the work and how often the supervisor will be there. If it's important to you, ask if the workers speak English or some other language you're comfortable communicating in. There'll be times where you're going to have to communicate with the workers that are on site, and when their supervisor won't be there, and it'll be good to know that you'll have the ability to communicate with people if they're working in your house. Ask the contractor about the team of people they have working back at their office. If they don't have anyone assisting them administratively, look, you're probably dealing with a small-time contractor who is trying to kind of do it all, and wearing all the different hats in his business. And that makes it difficult sometimes for those type of companies to provide you with the service that I know you're going to expect. But, again, you want to have an idea of who's going to be, who's there and how deep of a bullpen and a bench this company has. Finally, when you're discussing price with a contractor in these contractor interviews, don't give them your other bids, and don't ask for a cash discount, because if you do, they'll just raise their price first. Look, you want to make sure that the budget you tell the contractor that you have is at least 10 to 20% lower and what you're really willing to spend on the job. And that's because unexpected circumstances pop up on every job, and that adds costs. And if you give them a budget of a certain amount, you can guarantee that their price is going to come right up to that budget. And then you won't really have any cushion for the extras that invariably come up on almost every job. Look, selecting the right contractor and can be very time consuming and exhausting. You may end up interviewing multiple people. You may think you like one, and then they don't answer these questions the way you'd like to have them answered, and then you're kind of back to the drawing board. But it's critical to make the right choice, or otherwise your project is doomed before it even begins. And that's why it's super helpful to have an experienced construction attorney on your team by your side before you start a renovation project. And this is why here at our firm, we offer to perform background investigations for contractors for our clients, things like license complaints, lawsuits that might be out there, liens that might be out there, making sure that they've got the right licenses for the work they're looking to perform for you. And we are also able to actually reach out to references that you're going to want to ask for references, of course, from a contractor, but we're also able to reach out to those references for you. And we know what to ask, and the things that I know are going to be important to you. So that's part of what we do here at Wyman Legal Solutions, either by itself or as part of our renovation concierge program. And if you have any questions about any of this, please call the office at 561-361-8700 and ask to speak to me. And I'd love to help you out wherever we can.